Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Texas Bolt Action Battle Reports. I'm here at Bayou Battles in Houston, and I'm looking at a very beautiful table with teddy bear fur. And I'm here with my friend Casey, and it's open play night, so we just thought, why not just play a little friendly game, practice our lists. You guys know I like to do historical battles, but every now and then it's just fun to just throw two armies together and see what happens. So we're going to be playing a game of Demolition. I'll show you what I brought to Bayou Battles. I actually brought a U.S. tank platoon. We're looking at a regular first lieutenant, two regular squads of infantry, and one veteran squad of engineers. They're going to be hauled in these regular 2.5 ton trucks, and then two regular M3 half tracks. I've got a T12 medium anti-tank gun and two Stuarts, all regular. I've got a regular medium machine gun and a regular medium howitzer. So that's my list. I'm gonna swing around here to Casey's side of the table.
Chinese instead. That'd be cool. They make some new ones. All right. So what I got here is I got an MMG team that will have Hitler's buzzsaw.
Okay.
Two medium howitzers, not finished, proxied by a German Pack 40.
Very
Let's
nice.
not look at that. Panzer IV will be my Axis support with Tiger Fear.
Okay.
Regular truck, SDKSD 222. Panzer Strike team, first LT, sniper team. And then 4 different assorted infantry squads with a mix of rifles. Some have SMGs, some have LMGs, and 3 of them have a single Panzerfaust apiece.
Cool. All regular.
One is veteran.
Okay. Very good. All right. So show you guys the table we're going to be playing on today. We've actually already deployed our objectives. The U.S. have a downed Dodge weapons carrier that is holding some ammunition in the back, but it's broken down. And Casey has a down. Casey, what kind of tank is that?
That is an R35.
An downed R35 tank, which is a really fun little vehicle, fun little model. So we're going to go ahead and do deployment, and then we will let you know after we set up where we deployed. So stay tuned. All right, so we're back after the deployment, and as you can see, it's looking like it's going to be a barn burner over here on the right flank. I set up both of my Stuarts next to each other. I've got trucks and half trucks loaded down with infantry, backed up by the regular medium howitzer, just kind of all around the objective. Over here, I placed a medium machine gun looking around the corner of this building. Hoping to capitalize on that hard cover, and then I've got another half track loaded with infantry and a one regular squad that's kind of out in the open, ready to go. And then I've placed my anti-tank gun over here. Unfortunately, I had to place that before Casey had to place his heavy AT gun, and he put his Panzer IV out here on the flank. And as you can see, the Panzer IV can already see both Stuarts, so it's looking like that's going to be a barn burner of a turn, and those are Casey's words. So, Casey also placed some. Are those the regulars there, Casey, or are those the vets?
Those are the vets right there.
Okay, so he's placed his vets next to the Panzer IV, and he's also got his howitzer nicely covering this entire road. So he pretty much immediately shut down this road with anything heavy. And he's got a pretty good field of fire there. He's got a regular squad walking down the road over here. He's got a truck coming up the road, and then he has another regular squad guarding the objective. Over here on the left flank, he's placed a lot of ordnance. He placed an AT gun, a recon vehicle, and a medium machine gun, as well as looks like his officer team and his spotter for his howitzer. And then, what's your other squad there?
I got sniper, officer, medium howitzer.
Oh, I forgot that we were proxying that as a medium howitzer.
proxy.
Okay. All right, very well. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 1, and we will let you know how it goes. I have a feeling that turn 1 is just going to kick off really bloody out of the box. So we'll see how the dice roll, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back to turn 1 of this game. You know, it wasn't as bloody as I thought it was going to be, but there were some disappointing things that happened, and then there was also some really good things that happened, I think, for both of us. So I think that's where we're at. We'll start over here on the flank. I decided to, just right off the bat, get this Stewart out of the way. He passed his Tiger Fear test, and he moved over here and took shots at Casey's howitzer and managed to put a pin on it. The other Stewart just could not get its Tiger Fear word passed, so it just ended up going down. And that was actually before I hopped the officer out of this truck over here and moved him over. I've got a medium howitzer here that I tried to also fire at the Panzer, but he had been pinned by Casey's. Who did you fire on him with? Oh, you fired the Panzer's MMG fired at this howitzer and also missed. So, or hit it and killed, or just managed to put a pin on it. So nobody died, but he was pinned and he didn't pass his orders test. So meanwhile, over here, the regulars decided to move up just a little bit. Machine gun went to ambush. He's basically, take a look at what he's covering. He's basically just got a lane there where he's covering that he can see out of. Both half tracks moved up and spilled out their men. This half track was holding the veteran engineers who moved up to this side of the wall. Before that had happened, Casey had moved a whole squad of regulars down to the wall, and the flamethrower was able to take out 2 men, and they failed their morale test, so they exited the field. So that was 1 unit down for the Romanians. However, I was not able to ever get a serious pin on the Panzer, but Casey did try to fire this howitzer at my howitzer and missed, so that was good. These guys also ended up going down. The Panzerschreck team tried to fire at the veterans but missed, so he really had contemplated just rolling up with that truck full of veterans to fire at my veterans, and he just decided, with all of the support that the veterans had, he just decided against it. So he parked the truck behind that tree to kind of let it simmer and think about it. Meanwhile, over here on this flank, lots of shots being taken at my observer, but all of them missing except for one, which caused a pin. I believe that was the sniper, but he didn't kill. Casey moved up his 222 and fired at my half track over there. Missed with armor-piercing shots. His howitzer took a shot at my half track, I believe, but it moved, so that's going to be out of range now. But he did not manage to get a shot or a hit on that. He also took shots with, I already mentioned the sniper. He took shots with the MMG at the spotter and also missed those shots too. So the U.S. is making a little bit of a push, but there's still plenty of Romanian assets to help keep them from achieving their objective. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 2, and we will get back and let you know what happened. Loving playing on this board. This board is really nice. All right, see you soon. All right, welcome back. So we just played turn 2. It was pretty long and strenuous turn 2. I'll, as always, start over here on this flank. Both Stewarts moved up. One Stewart took a shot at the tank but missed, but also managed to spray the infantry with fire, causing them to go down, but didn't manage to hit or kill anyone. The howitzer over here could see the tank sitting over there in the bushes and took a shot and managed to hit it and pin it. I think it gave it 3 pins, or 2 pins. Sorry, yeah. The tank decided to fire at the Stewart and missed, so there was that. The howitzer over here went into ambush, thinking that there might be a point in time where the vets crossed the road. I just got to say, this position that the howitzer is in is really good. He's pretty much shut down the road, but the vets went into ambush and stayed where they were. And then this half track moved into the middle of the road and was going to take shots at the howitzer, but the howitzer decided to spring the ambush and knocked it out. But that freed up this regular infantry squad to move across the road toward this house. We moved a machine gun out into the road as well, behind the half track, and the regular infantry squad over here. This half track spun around and took a shot at this armored car over here, but we managed to pin it. It pinned it and stunned it. So it did penetrate, but it just stunned. Meanwhile, the officer team stayed where he was. I had this truck move up on the extreme flank and take shots at the howitzer, but didn't manage to hit anybody. So meanwhile, over here on this flank, this howitzer tried to fire at the half track, but missed. The half track that was at that point in time right here, as you recall. This vehicle did the same, but also missed. The sniper fired at my spotter for the howitzer and knocked him out. So now my howitzer can't see anything on this flank, which is a little scary. Machine gun advanced to the wall, and that's going to be really interesting because my machine gun has also advanced to the wall. So if only Bolt Action had real tracers, that would be really fun to watch. These squads over here went to ambush, but did not manage to pass their orders test. And these squads over here, or this Panzerstreck also went into ambush and did not manage anybody. The truck went down, everybody inside went down. We're saving those probably for the final push. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 3, and then we will let you know how it goes. Thanks. All right, we're back after turn 3. As you can see, some stuff has happened. We'll start over here on this flank. Both Stuarts moved up, or tried to at least. This Stuart, on the roll to see if it could pass its Tiger Fear test, ended up foobarring, and then it ended up rolling a 1. So it basically fired all of its MMGs at these Rangers. At the engineers. The engineers promptly went down, but they did take a pin. So they didn't take any casualties, luckily, but they did take a pin. Meanwhile, the Panzer decided to fire at this Stuart, and right in the nick of time, it remembered that it could recce, so it recce'd out of the way and was not shot at. But the Panzer fired all of its MMGs at this howitzer, and again managed to put another pin on it. The howitzer took a orders test with the officer and passed, so it fired back at the Panzer, but didn't manage to hit it at all. So the Panzer still has 1 pin, but that's it. This truck over here fired downrange at the howitzer and did manage to put a pin on his howitzer, so that was good. Meanwhile, over here, the squad was fired upon by the howitzer before it took its pin, and they ended up going down. So it was a good thing too because he needed a 5 to hit. They went down. They made it 6 on 6, and then he rolled a 5, so he would have hit. The Panzerstreck took out the half track of the engineers, so they have lost their vehicle support pretty much completely. MMG was fired on by the MMG over here, but they decided to go down as well and preserve themselves. This Ranger team moved up and fired at the MMG, pinned him, and the regular infantry team fired at the MMG and pinned them, but only managed to cause pins, no deaths. This vehicle over here fired at Casey's armored car, but it also remembered that it could recce and moved around the side of the hill. Howitzer took shots at the half track but missed. Sniper advanced forward. This squad over here advanced and took shots at this squad but missed all of their shots. Truck went down. People inside also went down. This unit over here took shots at the now open top Stuart and put a pin on them. So that, I feel like that's probably going to end up being something just really crucial that that really hurts my ability. Right now, these guys are moving up towards the objective, but they have no vehicle support right now. And I think for a list like this with only 3 infantry units, that's going to be crucial. So I'm really going to have to try and get them some support if I want to even have a prayer of getting to the objective. So we're going to go ahead and play this next round. 2 die out for the Americans now, 1 die out for the Romanians. So we'll let you know how that goes, and we'll get back to you. So stay tuned.
I guess maybe one officer.
All right, welcome back. So we just finished turn 4. As you can see, the U.S. are continuing their push. They've got some bloody miles to go until they get to their objective, though. They've got to go across that entire area of no cover. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do that. Over here, we've got one Stuart that ended up wrecking when this Panzer fired at it. So it moved out of sight, but it took its pin with it, so it had to use its turn. Howitzer tried to get it together to fire at the tank again, but failed its orders test, so it had to go down. Officer just kind of moved back over here. The Stuart passed a Tiger Fear test and moved up to help support these guys. So hopefully on this next turn, I can kind of get him in the mix, get him going. The Ranger or the engineers did not pass the orders test from earlier. They just can't seem to get over their own tank firing at them. They're probably angry that even though that very tank is right up next to them, about to give them some support. Meanwhile, around here, these guys moved around the house, fired at Casey's rifle squad, but did not manage to. They killed one, they pinned him, but they passed the orders test. They fired back and they killed 2 of mine. So I'm down to a 6-man squad over here and we have a pin. Meanwhile, this squad took shots at the MMG and did manage to pin it, so that's good. Good news. Meanwhile, over here, let's see, what else? Okay, so this T-12 went on ambush and it's just waiting for the 222. The 222 did try to get around the side, but it failed its orders test, so it ended up just going down. Meanwhile, Casey is bringing his truck up. As you can see, he ran it up. I guess he kind of tried to sneak it up that tree line and did not, was unable to unload anybody because he ran, so we probably can expect something like that on the next turn. This squad right here moved up, took shots at my truck in the bushes on the extreme flank over here, but did not manage to, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, yeah, it did hit it. It not only did it hit it, it caught it on fire, so it has 2 pins, so that's too bad. Howitzer didn't pass orders test, went down. Panzer Shrek went into ambush, but was unable to spring it. Meanwhile, over here, Sniper advanced up and took shots at the MMG team, which was right here where this marker is, and killed it. So took out its gunner, and it's now dead. This Howitzer over here fired a shot at my T-12, but missed. And the officer team had actually issued a Union snap to action. So he advanced a little bit, Sniper did all of that, and so that was all part of one move. Meanwhile, this MMG fired earlier at this squad, did not manage to kill anybody. And so we are now looking at a turn 5, and hopefully the Americans can continue their advance. They have a tank supporting them, but it's still going to be really interesting to see if they're able to even get close. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know what happens. All right, guys, we're back after turn 5. Taking a look here, you can see that a lot has happened. A lot of shit hit the fan. So I'm going to go ahead and kick off with what happened over here. Casey decided it was time to start a push, so he moved his tank up. The tank took shots at the Stuart, which wrecked even further behind the hedge. Then it emptied its machine guns into the howitzer and pinned it. So he's moving up there. Then he moved his truck up from where it was back there. Or actually, he had done that last turn. But this time, the vets got a little bit of the upper hand, and they jumped over the hedge, and they fired their flamethrower at the truck, knocking it out. Forcing all of the men to jump out, and they took 2 pins and they lost a man. So they're now sitting there. They went down. Meanwhile, he moved up with this squad and fired at this Stuart, which had moved from up here to support. The Stuart was open top, so they managed to put a pin on it. They decided not to waste the Faust. And I forgot to talk about what that Stuart did. It basically was sitting here, as you'll recall. There was a Shrek over here that Casey put on ambush. The Stuart moved up, emptied all of its machine guns into the Shrek, and managed to take it out. So it was going to be tough shots. It was 6-on-6, but it managed to get 2 hits with 25 shots. It's not hard to do. Meanwhile, over here, this squad moved up and assaulted the MG team, killed them, but took pretty heavy casualties. They're now down to 4 men. They took fire from the officer team and the sniper, but they all missed. This howitzer over here tried to fire at the T-12 that was positioned here, but missed. 222 still not able to get it together, still not able to pass an orders test. Meanwhile, over here, this squad took shots at my men, and I decided to place them down, and they did take a casualty, so they were down. But now they've got a steward backing them up on this very last turn, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get up there to that squad. There may be a chance here, but it's going to be really hard. Meanwhile, the Romanians are kind of pressing down over here. This howitzer did not manage to pass an orders test, so it also went down. And the T-12 swung around from its position. It decided it was doing no good there, and it moved over here to fire at this Panzer, which you could see just barely over there. So we are going to play turn 6, and we will see what happens. Stay tuned.
This is gonna have to just take the.
All right, guys. We just wrapped up the game with turn 6, and we are looking at a complete draw. I'm going to go ahead and start with what happened for the U.S. first. Over here, the howitzer actually ended up being the thing that took out this tank, hit it on the front armor, and penetrated, and knocked it out. This squad took fire from the squad over here. Or no, I'm sorry. This squad just tried to activate, but just couldn't get it together and went down. So that pretty much spoiled all my plans. I tried to take the squad that was here and move them behind the objective and try to just ignore the enemy and plant the charge. Casey moved his officer up, killed all but one of them, and then finally the squad took shots at them and killed all but one. Meanwhile, over here, the engineers also foobarred. They took shots at the squad but missed. These two squads ended up just not really doing anything. The tank tried to take out the T-12, but it looked at that point like there was not going to really be a chance to get the objective without playing another turn. So we decided to just go ahead and roll for the game. So as you can see, it was a very bloody game. A lot of American or mostly American vehicles knocked out. One Romanian truck. So anyway, I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot about using the flamethrower. So go ahead and make sure and follow us on the Texas Bolt Action page, and make sure and say hi to me and subscribe, and let me know if there's any battles you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.